Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about params or how to implement params in our Next.js. So now when we move to our home page, now we refresh, you could see that nothing happens. Now when we go to our visual code, in our app folder, let's create a folder and name the folder courses. Courses. Now click on enter. Folder, we'll create a folder and we'll create a folder in the course folder and give it a bracket. We'll open and close a bracket, and in between the open and close bracket we type id. Then in the id folder we'll create a file known as page.tsf. So basically you have to create a folder in our app directory, then create another folder in the course directory, and it has to hold an id, and that id must be in a square bracket. And in the square bracket folder you now create the page.tf. Now let's type the React snippet code RFC. Now let's save it. Now let's open our browser and refresh. So you could see that this is our home page. In order for us to go to this page being created here, all we just have to do is under courses and an ID. So basically, let's type slash courses slash id. Let's give it an id of 1. You an id, no, the word is course, is not course. Or let me see the name that yeah, it's courses, so that's why it's not show. So courses, you will see that it have opened this for us, this page for us. So in order for us to actually show that this is actually working, we need to take into consideration the URL, because the URL is home localhost 3000/courses/1. So we are in a course outline with an ID of 1. So with regards to this, for us to implement the params really here, this anytime this number is being changed, which is after the slash, you can write 20, 205, you can write 50. You see that still nothing changes here, because the slash after the calls, this slash indicate a dynamic number, which is a dynamic ID. So that's why in our folder structure you could see that we gave it a double bracket, a square bracket, and under it we gave it a page this way. So in order for us to get a unique ID for this, because param is normally used when a dynamic string or a dynamic numbers are being uh, more or less implemented in our URL, because since court outline might have different ID. So in order for us to achieve that, in our page.tf file, the opening and close bracket page, we just break a bracket, a curly bracket, and in between the curly bracket we just type params. And this params, we type the param as a prompt and it should accept any. So the moment you type in between the curly brackets params, then give it a type of any. All we just need to do now is console log the param. So console.log bracket open and type params. Now when we save it and open our browser, now let's refresh our browser and see something. You will see that nothing shows up. Now let's inspect our console and see what happened. You could see that in our console you could see a promise or react promise. So in order for us to gain the params, we have to add await to our params. So await, and you see that it's giving us a warning. All we just have to do is turn it to an async function. So now when we save it and open our browser, now let's clear our browser. Now when we refresh, you you could see that the ID, you could see that there is a curly braces which indicate the ID and a number of 50. So the moment I change this number to 20, you could see that 205, you could see that the number is 205. So when I change it to, let's say, 70, you will see that the ID is 70. And we are getting through, or this is possible because of the structure of the params being this way. So in order for us to display the number on our web page, all we just have to do is create a constant variable and name it. Let's name it param ID. Let's give it is equal to await, then param, then params. So okay, then params. Then instead of console logging it right now, all we just have to need to do right now is open a curly braces. Now type the variable name, which is param id dot, then give it id. Now when we save it now and open our browser and refresh, you could see that anytime you could see that 70 is here and 70 is here. Let's change this to 90 and refresh it. You could see that 90 is being displayed on our website page. So with regards to this help us to do dynamic routing or moves to a specific course outline with an ID. So with regards to param, this is how to implement params in Next.js. And if you look at the folder structure really carefully, you could see that under our app folder, you will see the folder known as course. And when you open the course, you will see a square bracket, and in between the square bracket, you see an ID. And when you open it, you see the folder name known as page.tf. So basically, what this param is trying to tell us that anything which is in the square bracket, if let's assume this ID was supposed to be given a name as class, you will see that any number after the route name, which is called slash, after the slash, any number that you pass after the slash, you will see that that number or that string will be termed as the param. So take note. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.